I started getting into overlanding seriously back in 2020, just before the lockdowns. After a short hiatus, I was back at it again. With over 5 years of footage to go through, I've been searching for the next trail to review. Not every trail or every trip is a photogenic one, but when I'm in an area again, I do revisit trails when conditions are different. What was a lackluster trail can always turn around in just a few hours. While I love the forest and mountains of all types, deserts and canyons have their appeal. One region in my recent watch-throughs kept coming up: the Southwest. More specifically, Moab. So let's take a look at the second trail I ever did in Moab, the Shafer Trail. I won't give as detailed of a review of this trail as I would normally, other than this: as long as you're not in a sports car, a low sedan, or a low rider, you'll probably be able to make it down this trail. Only long vehicles like RVs should seriously rethink this trail, as the switchbacks leading down on a few turns might spell a trip in reverse to the top to get unstuck. With that, we start just outside the Canyonlands National Park Overlook entrance, just northwest of Moab. Leading up to the main entrance, you'll find access roads to several hiking trails and driving trails, such as the Shafer Trail. There's no real bad time of day to do this trail. In the wintertime, like this video was shot, you'll contend with the sun affecting your camera exposures at strange times of day. But to the eye in person, this trail shines all the way through. If you're a drone enthusiast like me, just know, as of current rules, there's no flying in national parks without a permit. Luckily, this trail isn't just on parklands. While this trail won't initially seem like it's worth it, remember, you are working your way towards the edge of a plateau. And by the edge, I mean shelf roads are ahead. The first few turns on the intro shelf roads have some beautiful views, but the closer you get to the switchbacks that lead down, the more impressive they become. Most of the switchbacks on the way down are pretty generous, owing to the easy rating for this trail. But I did find a few that I had to multi-point turn for. For those looking to get over their fear of shelf roads and switchbacks, this is your trail to practice on. The views on the way down the trail are breathtaking, but only show you to the edge of the national park on the horizon. When you reach the bottom of the switchbacks, you've got a few more minutes of driving with trail offshoots that include, I believe, a campground, and on another turn, I believe there's a porta-john. When a canyon edge comes into view and the trail draws closer to the edge, you've crossed over the boundary of Canyonlands National Park. For the drone pilots watching, you should really make sure you have enough batteries charged for this. To say the views along this stretch of trail are epic is to say water is wet. When you see what at first seems like an unreal CGI landscape in a sci-fi movie, watch it again after running this trail. Likely the artist has been places like this, or has pics and vids pinned to their reference material. From here on out, until the potash pools, if you find an option to leave the main trail, take it. Most are short treks closer to the edge with views of the river below and formations on the other side. From the first trail turnout, I could spot another closer to the edge further down the trail, and I made a beeline for it. As it turns out, this area is Thelma and Louise Point. If that view looks familiar, but not because of a movie, then likely you've driven Hurrah Pass and Chicken Corners before, or you watched my review of those trails recently. The end of Chicken Corners is directly across the river, and you can see that in this shot from earlier this year. If the trail ended as it begins to pull away from the river, this trail would be worth doing. Easy or not, purely for the views. But the Shafer Trail has one more distinct region to reveal: the Red Dirt Canyon and Potash Pools. As you first enter this zone, it reminds me of driving across the outback. I could almost hear Mad Max's supercharger over the horizon. The Potash Pools up close were not something I would have driven out here to see. But from a distance, they add an odd mix of blue hues from pool to pool that make one feel as though they're looking at paint swatches left out to dry. When the trail pulls away from the pools, you'll make your way along what feels like a small canyon, especially after the one you've just driven along. It did give me vibes of the road to Jabba's palace. Once you're clear of the canyons, the trail only has a few random boulders left to draw your interest before you find yourself on Potash Road. This road will dump you out just north of the Moab city limits. You can run this trail in either direction, but going down the switchbacks is generally more fun. I highly recommend this trail if you're in Moab, as it only takes a couple of hours max, and you'll remember these views forever. Hope you enjoyed the review. Like and subscribe before the next one. See you then.